Welcome to the Dog Nerd Show, where we geek out over our best friends. I'm Megan.
And I'm Michael, and this is a show about all things dog.
Hey everybody, welcome. Today we have a great episode. We are talking about the German Shepherd dog. And that is the right way to say it. So the official full name of the breed is German Shepherd Dog, or GSD for short. So we're going to just get a little dog nerdy right off the bat.
Yeah. One thing about this breed is, a lot of people may have the misconception because it looks like a wolf, right? It looks very close to a wolf, that it's an older breed. It's really not. 1899 is when it started in Germany, obviously. But that's when the first German Shepherd dog was brought into the world.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of history about, this dog bred with that dog and similar types of breeds. But officially, according to our research, the breed was introduced in 1899. I have a soft spot in my heart for German Shepherds because of my Molly story.
Right.
Which if you guys haven't heard that yet, I have a video coming about that. And of course I named a character in my books after Molly. So, German Shepherds are, they got a bad rap for being like, oh, these are fierce, mean dogs. I guess that was back in the 80s. But they're not, like any animal, if it's trained well and is socialized well, they're good. So they are a special breed to my heart. And we talked with our friend Jessie and met Cash, who is still a pup. Beautiful dog. Can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah, that's coming up here just shortly. One of the things we wanted to talk about is the German Shepherd does have some issues that you need to know about, and some are health related and some are training related, and so we wanted to kind of touch on those. And one of the things that they're kind of well known for is hip dysplasia. And a lot of that has to do with the breeders were breeding these dogs to have kind of that sloped back, crouched look to it, or appearance to it. And when that happened, that sort of brought on or fused in the hip dysplasia. There's a few other things if you want to hit on a few of the other things.
Yeah. So EPI. Endocrine pancreatic, or is it exocrine pancreatic insufficiency? It sounds like something that can be tested for, with any animal. Problems can arise. But the other one is von Willebrand's disease, which is a blood clotting disorder, and this is a genetic one. So the real important point to make here, and this goes with any animal that you get, if you are not going to rescue, if you're going to go to a breeder, you need to do your research. Don't expect to get a dog next week, next month, even in 2 months. You really want to find a good, reputable breeder, because they will be doing testing for these disorders. And if they are breeding properly, they're not doing inbreeding. They're going to have healthy dogs that will hopefully have long, healthy lives. So, and with the German Shepherd, they are ranked number 2 in popularity in the United States and number 7 in the United Kingdom. So they are very popular breeds. And unfortunately, you guys know what that means. Usually the more popular the dog, the more issues, because you get a lot of people that just want to get in it for the money, and they start breeding dogs just to make money. And this is a breed that you really want to do your research on.
That's right. And it's also a breed that my starting point, if I was looking for this breed, would be going to the rescues. There's a lot of rescues available for the German Shepherd dog due to their popularity. People sometimes get into the dog and or think they want it, and then they get it and they realize, wow, this probably wasn't for me. Because we've said in the past, you need to know what's a good dog for a first dog, and I don't think this is a good dog for a person to have as their first dog.
Yeah, I think this, if this is your first dog, probably not. These dogs are very intelligent, but they also need a lot of training. They have high energy. They want to work. And if you're not prepared to put in a lot of time and effort, and we'll hear from Jessie about how it's a family affair with them, it's probably not the right dog. This is not a set it and forget it dog. This is a dog that needs a lot of training on the front end. You will end up with an amazing dog, but you have to put in a lot of work. So that's probably what we would say. They were originally bred for herding sheep, so they have stamina. They're going to be protective of their flock, so that will translate to your family. And because they have strength, intelligence, trainability, and obedience, they have been great dogs for other things like police and military work.
Yeah, police, military, disabled assistance, CNI dogs, helping people in wheelchairs. They've been trained to, open doors, things of that nature, because they're so smart, they're so trainable, and they're strong. They're also used a lot in search and rescue. So, hey, before we start, we did have a little bit of audio issues on the interview. We apologize for that. We're trying to bring these, we started this kind of on a shoestring budget. We're not professionals by any means. We're getting there, though.
Yeah. We have a little crackly on our mics that we need to remedy.
Yeah. So what we did on the interview side was we used some wired lapels, and they weren't quite, because of social distancing, they weren't quite long enough. Anyway, we've ordered some new microphones, so those interviews are going to start sounding hopefully a lot better. But please forgive the audio on this. It's still listenable too, but it's, maybe there's some issues in it. So
it's not our ideal, but we appreciate you guys for understanding, and we'll get into the interview and let y'all hear all about the German Shepherd dog.
Awesome.
So we have an exciting guest today. We have Jesse and Cash is a German Shepherd. So I love German Shepherds. I actually was afraid of them when I was a kid because the neighbors, there were some girls on the school bus that were trying to be funny and mean to me, and a neighbor had a German Shepherd named Molly, and they told me that the dog attacked her, and I was scared. Well, all it took was for the owner to find out that's what was happening. Mm-hmm. I got to meet Molly, and Molly and I became best friends. Every day I got off the school bus, I would go see Molly. It was like a little love story. So I have a special place for German Shepherds, but I've never had one. So let's talk about the breed. So Cash is 9 months old.
Yep.
And we all have already talked that he sheds quite a bit.
He does. So German Shepherds have two coats that they blow out in the fall and in the spring, but their two coats shed all the time. So it's something that's constant in our house. We have a Roomba going all the time, and that can't even keep up with him. I sweep all the time, and I vacuum every single day. And I comb him out probably 3 times a week.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, how often do you keep up with it? I guess that's...
Yeah, so it's actually good to help maintain their coat if you comb them out every day, but that's kind of not super feasible for me to do.
Yeah.
So it's typically every couple days I will get my de-shedding comb, and I'll just comb him out. He loves it. We started when he was really young, so he's super used to it. It feels really good for him.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's really important to start when they're early so that they actually like it and think it's, fun time versus torture.
Yes, yeah.
So with that being said, this is not a breed that you clipper, right?
Right. You don't have to take them in to be groomed, and actually it's really important for their skin if you don't bathe them that often.
Okay.
So typically it's about every 4 to 5 months. Obviously, if you take them somewhere where they get super dirty, you're going to want to wash them off.
Yeah.
But their skin has natural oils in it that help keep their coat shiny and healthy, and so you're going to want to really not bathe them too often.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to take clippers to them, but they shed a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's good for the grooming end because, you're not spending money on a groomer and all the extra stuff that goes along with it. And, since we have to groom our dogs, I know that's very labor intensive to do yourself. So,
yes.
So temperament. Tell us about the German Shepherd's overall temperament.
So German Shepherds are very loyal dogs. They love their family. They're very attached. Surprisingly, they look very fierce. Like you said, you were scared of your German Shepherd, and most people are scared, which makes them really great guard dogs. And they're protective of their family, but my children can lay on him. He's super lovable, and he's very friendly, and most German Shepherds are. But they just are very smart, intelligent, loyal dogs.
Yeah, well, and I think they got a bad rap in the 80s, and that was around the time that I was, experiencing that. So, but yeah, I mean, the ones I've met, I just love them.
Yes, and they're typically, you see them a lot as police dogs because they are very loyal, like I said, and they're protective, and they are just, they protect their, like the police officers.
And they can be trained to do that work.
Because they're so smart.
Yeah.
They are definitely bred for that type of work.
And we were talking about the trainability. I mean, the fact that he's 9 months old and he knows a lot of commands, very obedient. Talk to us about what the training process was like.
So for him, we started really early with training him. We started when he was 9 weeks old. We got him at 8 weeks, and the next week we put him in training right away. And it was super important because they are naturally, they are herding dogs, and so the way they herd is with their mouths. So they're very mouthy. So they're going to grab, they're going to bite, but they bite and it hurts. They hold, they tackle. So we had to get that under control right away because we have kids at home, and naturally as a herding dog, he wants to run after them and tackle them and bite them and take them down. We have a lot of videos of our kids when he was just a small puppy, because he's still a puppy, running after them in the yard and tackling him. So it was really important, but he took to training right away because it's just bred into him. He's a working dog, and that's what he wants to do, is he wants to work.
And he
needs a job.
So, and that's important about having a job, because I think a lot of people get dogs because they get it because it looks cool or cute, or for some reason they're attracted to a breed, but what they don't understand is if they're bred to work, they need some serious stimulation.
Right, and so if you don't, with a dog like this, with a German Shepherd who's bred to work, if they don't have something to do, they're going to be bored.
They'll find something to do.
Yes, they're going to be bored, they're going to dig holes in your yard, they're going to destroy your furniture. So if you keep them doing something, giving them jobs to do, they're great dogs.
So you haven't had any of those issues? Or
he loved to dig when we first got him, but we had to get that under control right away because you can't have him digging everywhere. As soon as we gave him a job to do, and they're so smart. German Shepherds are so smart, so he took to obedience right away. He passed his first obedience class first time through.
Wow.
We never had any issues with him, but it's something that you need to start early with this breed, is you need to teach them how to work and to how to obey you.
And that's important too, because they are big dogs, they're strong dogs. You were saying he's 100?
He's just under 100 pounds at 9 months.
So that's a lot of dog to handle if they're not trained. And you know, my whole thing is, you know, to try to educate people so that they make good decisions, because that's a very good decision to make, so that if you have a dog that becomes too much for you to handle, you don't want it ending up in a shelter.
Exactly.
And training can get you what you need.
Exactly. And I think that is people don't understand sometimes when they get a breed that you need to research the breed you're getting so that you know what you're getting into, so you can put in the time, okay, do I have the time to put in what this dog needs for them to excel?
And that's a lot of time and effort that you guys have put in, but this amazing being, who's just so well behaved and so sweet at 9 months. I mean, I don't think our dogs were this well trained at 9 months.
They're very smart. German Shepherds are so smart.
Okay, so health-wise, what are some? The only thing I really know about is hip dysplasia because of the slant. What else do we need to know health-wise about the breed?
So something that I actually didn't know. Cash, sit. Good boy. Something that I actually didn't know about the German Shepherd breed. My German Shepherd growing up, he had stomach issues. We didn't know why, but it's a common thing with German Shepherds is they have GI issues. So not all of them do. So if you get them from a breeder, you can get the history of both the mom and the dad, so you know, are they coming into this with a clean health slate? And he actually did, but he still has some GI issues. And it's very treatable. All the GI issues that they can have, it's really common for a German Shepherd to get something called EPI, which is where their body doesn't produce enzymes to digest their food. So he thankfully doesn't have EPI. After thorough testing, we found out he doesn't. He just has low B12, which is common also in German Shepherds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So just supplement that.
supplement your B12, and then their GI issue stays stable. And it's really easy to know when they have GI issues. You walk them, you take them to the bathroom, you know something's not right.
Yeah.
So yeah, hip dysplasia is common.
Okay.
So one thing that our breeder told us, and one thing the vet told us, is it's important with a German Shepherd to let them fully develop if you can. So not neutering them early. Most vets will neuter a dog as early as 6 months, but with a German Shepherd, they're not fully matured till they're 2.
Okay.
So if you can hold off until they're at least 1 or 2 years old, those hormones will work in their body and they will be fully developed, and their chances of having hip dysplasia goes down dramatically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing with a good breeder, you're hopefully going to have less of a chance of that as well.
Right, yeah, because you'll know if mom and dad have had hip problems.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was interesting, you were telling me when you're walking with the kids, is that he does not like them to be in front because he's got to keep his herd
Together.
And that you notice a lot of the herding instinct with him just naturally occurring.
Yes, and it started, like I said, when he was a very small puppy, and he'll get anxiety on walks if the kids will go in front of him. 1, 2 steps in front of him, immediately he gets a little worked up.
Yeah.
German Shepherds are kind of vocal, so he'll start making quite a bit of noise, and then he's very anxious to get in front of them, and then he wants to keep them in front of him, or him in front of them, so they need to be behind him, and that's just the way he is because he's a protector, and he's a shepherding dog, so he needs to be in front of everybody, leading the pack, but every 3 to 5 seconds he makes sure to turn around, make sure, is everybody here? Is everybody here?
That I could see where that would give you anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're naturally, you got to make sure everything's going according to plan. That would naturally just give you anxiety.
Yeah, and our trainer is experienced with German Shepherds, which is important to find with a German Shepherd when you're training them, is somebody who's experienced with the breed that you have. And so she had told us from the get-go, don't put him in a situation that's going to have him fail.
Yep.
You have to help him succeed.
Yeah.
So when you're walking, don't have the kids go in front of him.
Yeah.
Don't have them run. If you want to start slowly, have one kid walk but not run in front of him, because it's going to give him anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've been working on, is trying to teach him it's okay if the pack breaks.
Yeah.
They can go in front of you.
Yeah.
And they're going to be okay. They're going to come back.
Yeah. But just baby steps with that.
Baby steps, yeah.
Really, makes a lot of sense too, and I think that it's so great that you have a trainer that understands that, and you guys as a family understand that, because it gives him a better chance at being good and understanding and not getting so stressed out.
Right, keeping his stress level down, and the walk to be something that's enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah.
We want him to succeed, and we don't want to have to correct him constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. He is so beautiful.
Thank you.
He just watches you.
Yeah, he is such a good boy.
What else should we know about the breed in general? Cash? Yes, you know your name. So
yes,
well.
He does know his name. I'd say one thing that's super important to know about this breed is, what I've seen a lot with German Shepherds is they're, like you said, they're big and they're strong. Most of them on average don't get over about 85 pounds, but Cash is bigger than average. So he takes a lot for me to stop him.
Yeah.
And they are naturally, they want to be the alpha dog. So he wants to be the alpha dog over me, but we had to establish that early. And what I did notice too is females, German Shepherds, they're a lot more protective than the males.
The maternal instinct.
The maternal instinct. Yeah, so that was very interesting. So when we were deciding on if we were going to get a male or a female, I knew I wanted to get a male because I didn't want to have to battle the fact that she had the maternal instinct and also wanted to be the alpha. So that was super important.
And you said that they can be vocal.
There we go. He sees another dog.
As if on command, yeah.
Cash, stop. Cash, sit. Good boy, stay.
So
They can be vocal. Are they nuisance barkers or? They are not nuisance barkers, but one thing about him that I love is his bark is loud. So if somebody is outside your house that you don't want outside their house, your house, he'll alert you right away because they're always attentive. Even if he's sleeping by the front door, which is where he likes to sleep, he will tell you right away, somebody's at the front door, and that bark is going to scare somebody away. So that was important too when we were, nope, Cash, go to heel. Sit. Good boy. Good boy.
So mainly just if he
sees somebody,
Yeah.
he's going to let you know. But they don't bark all the time. They're not yapping dogs. They are just alert dogs. Exactly what you would think they would be for is to let you know that somebody's there.
That's cool. Yeah, anything else?
They're just great family dogs. We have 2 kids, and I haven't ever been concerned. You know?
About him and them.
Yes.
And, you know, it's also takes teaching them how to behave around the dog. You know, they can do that just as well as he does.
We got them involved with training right away, and I think that's important for everybody in the family to be on board with your dog. Is huge. They know all the commands to give him, so we weren't confusing him because dogs don't speak English. So when you first get a dog and you're trying to teach them to sit, to stay, they don't know those words. So if everybody is using a different word for the same command you have for them, it's going to get confusing for them. So we taught, everybody in the family was on board. We all take turns with training him daily.
That's great.
And that keeps his brain working and keeps him busy.
And it's different interaction with each person, so he's getting like a fair training from the whole group instead of just one person training him.
Right, because we didn't want him to just respect my husband and see my husband as the alpha. We wanted him to obey everybody in the family because he's our family dog.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Such a good boy.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And we can't wait to see him as he grows. Hopefully not too much more, right?
We're expecting about 20 more pounds on him.
Boy.
Yeah, he's a big one.
He's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I know I say this every single time, but how beautiful is that dog?
Yeah, he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous and well trained.
Very well behaved.
9 months old, guys.
Yeah. Just a very alert. You know, watching the other dogs pass by and people, but very sweet. We were we should have said this at the beginning, but we were keeping our distance because this is still the Corona time. So if you're listening to this 2 years from now or watching this 2 years from now, hopefully that's all over with. But the reason we weren't standing closer was because it's still the keep your distance 6 feet. But it was a real pleasure to meet Cash. Just a beautiful boy. So sweet and well behaved, a lot better behaved than a lot of adult dogs. So
yeah, he was gorgeous. It was exciting to meet them, and I'm glad we got to. It was raining that day, and luckily it broke up just enough to give us enough time to do the interview. It was fantastic. So
yeah, we had a great time. We hope you guys did too. If you have a German Shepherd or German Shepherds, let us know anything in the comments that maybe we didn't discuss, things that we should know. You guys, I have to tell you, the people that have Lagotos really gave us some great information about their Lagotos. And in fact, we talked about maybe doing a little recap video where we talk about your comments, because we're so appreciative to learn what you guys know about your breed. So if the German Shepherd dog is your dog, let us know in the comments anything else that we should know. We really want to help people make better decisions when they are thinking of adding a dog to their family. And we really rely on your input because we've never owned German Shepherd dogs.
No. Well, that was a fantastic interview. And I'm looking forward to seeing your comments below, like Megan said. So
hey, let us know what breed you want us to talk about, and if there's anyone out there that wants to be interviewed about your breed, because we haven't done it yet, we can always do a Zoom session. So we'd love to just reach out and we'll set it up.
Absolutely. So tell people how they can get in touch with us.
All right. So you can comment on any of our videos. You can find us everywhere on social media at Dog Nerd Show, dognerdshow.com. dognerdshow@gmail.com. And yeah, we just really look forward to hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for listening or watching. And until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.